So I'm recording and I'll be getting audio and such for sure.
I'm not sure it's recording.
He is.
Mine
I
is
have to request permission to record, it says.
Mine is recording. It's been recording the whole time.
Mine is not recording.
Okay, go ahead and try now. I just, I activated your ability to.
Okay, I'm gonna try now.
Okay,
It keeps saying, please request recording permission.
okay, go ahead and try it now.
Recording.
Okay, all right, very good. So, go ahead and call meeting to order. First item on the agenda is Pledge of Allegiance. So if we could all stand and remove our hats.
There's a flag.
Where's the?
Where's the flag?
Okay, ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. Candace, if you go ahead and call the roll.
Jerry Harris. Alan
Present.
Smith.
Here.
I am here. Bill Starnes.
Here.
Rob Albert.
Present.
Fire Chief.
Here, present.
Thank you.
Terrific. Hopefully everyone had a chance to look at the agenda. Are there any last minute additions that need to be made? Okay, seeing none, we'll go ahead to approval of the minutes. I know Jerry had submitted a couple of amendments that are highlighted here, so.
Yeah, I made those corrections and then highlighted them.
Okay, all right, terrific. So is there a motion to accept the minutes as amended?
I make a motion.
Okay, thank you, Bill. Is there a
I'll
second?
second.
Jerry, thank you for the second. As we are meeting remotely, we will go ahead and do a roll call vote. So on the question of approving the minutes, Jerry, how do you vote?
Approved.
Alan?
Approved.
Bill?
Approved.
Candace?
Approved.
And I vote to approve as well. Meetings are approved. Next item is our communications report.
Is it the treasurer's report?
Or excuse me, you're right on. So treasurer's report. I'm sorry, Bill, you are next.
Okay, I transferred $5,000 from our money market account into our checking account, which made a total deposit of $5,000.42. We wrote 6 checks for a total of $1,388.50. That leaves us a checking balance of $14,071.34. And we have $198,739.37 in our money market account, and we made $25.56 of interest.
Okay, terrific. Do we have any present outstanding bills to pay?
Not that I know
Not tonight, no.
Not tonight?
No.
Okay. So if we have no present bills, I do not see a need for a motion to pay the bills.
Oh, wait, I take that back then. The ones,
Okay,
we do have the ones that are sitting there on
okay.
the checks right there, plus the credit card, yeah.
Okay, so these haven't been sent out yet?
No, no.
Okay, so I will entertain a motion to pay the bills.
I have a question.
Okay, we got a question.
I have a question on the white and sick.
Yeah,
How did that check? Can it be sent to me and I'll forward it to him?
yeah, I have it right here. I wanted everybody to understand that was for lumber for the carport in the parking lot out there. Mike bought a whole bunch of lumber for a barn, and beautiful lumber. It's been sitting there. Actually, it's straighter than you'll find anywhere in a hardware store because it's been sitting on stringers for 6 months, and it's he gave it to us for half price, so we took
Okay.
it. Yeah,
It's a good deal.
yeah.
Okay, so,
But we were just curious how, Steve, are you gonna bring us that check then?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, I have it here, so it's been signed.
Great. Good enough. Okay.
okay, so I will entertain a motion to pay the bills.
Move to pay the bills.
Okay, thank you, Jerry. And Bill, thank you for the second. Go ahead, roll call vote. Alan?
Approve?
Thank you. Candace?
Approved.
Jerry?
Approved.
Bill?
Approved.
And I vote in the affirmative as well, so motion to pay the bills is passed. Okay, now communications report. Jerry?
All right. I posted approved documents, meeting videos, minutes, slaughter calls, treasurer's reports, and chief's reports. I added links to the homepage news section regarding the COVID-19 in Douglas County and elsewhere. Added the Stay Home Save Lives poster to the homepage and also posted it on Nextdoor. Added the department's written plan in response to the governor's executive order to the volunteer news section of the homepage. That was the written plan written by our fire chief, Steve Rhodes. I scanned the website, including emails for viruses, deleted any that were present. There were no files with apparent viruses in the district email accounts and none on the website. A block was put on an email address that sent a phishing scam, supposedly from a philanthropist in India. Zagreb was also added to the list of countries blacklisted after receiving a phishing scam from there. I presented to the board members and chief options for teleconferencing the April board meeting. No proposed changes at this time. Any suggestions are welcome. Communications.
Yeah, we're having our board meeting.
I'm sorry?
Carry on. I got a person from the public. Go ahead.
Communications with agencies, received texts of fire department, 911 dispatches, received email newsletters from SDAO, received notices from DFPA. I signed up and received newsletters regarding COVID-19 from the Oregon Department of Human Services, the Oregon Health Authority, and the Douglas Public Health Network. Communications with fire department, list of February blotter calls and report were received from the chief. I communicated with Chief Rhodes regarding training of first responders regarding safety procedures for the coronavirus. SDAO has been providing updates from the Oregon State Fire Coronavirus Response Team. Communications with community, post public notice for the March board meeting on the district website and Nextdoor and at the fire station. Communications equipment, updated software on the district computer. End of report.
Thank you very much. At this time, Steve, if anyone there at the station would like to make a public comment on our present agenda, this is their opportunity.
I scared him away.
You scared them away, okay?
No, it was one of our volunteers. It's
Oh, okay. And then Alan, does Ian want to make any comments on the agenda?
I would like to know if the budget, what's going on with the budget meetings.
Okay, that will come up a little bit later in our agenda.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, any other public comments? Seeing none, we'll move into our fire chief's report.
Looks like it's on the screen here. March was pretty busy for us. We had 20 total calls. Medical aid, 9 medicals, 4 structures, 4 motor vehicle accidents, a couple natural cover responses, 1 lift assist. The structure fires, one of them was automatic aid to District 2. Actually, yeah, it's 2 of those, 1 into Camas Valley, and then we also had a structure fire that ended up, we were first on scene in the Reston area up around Sugar Pine. That was an accidental fire with a faulty flue chimney. It got into the walls. We had about $80,000 damage. A common cause we've had before, it's an older house that was, or a newer house, or upgraded, that's been built around an old chimney, so the chimney had lost the mortar and all that stuff out of the, between the blocks. And there's been a couple of those since I've been here, so anyway. That was a tough one. It was in the walls and in the attic. It was bad. We had some training this month. We did our CPR refresher. As Jerry mentioned, we've gotten a whole bunch of stuff about COVID-19 from the county and everything else and how we should handle calls and stuff. I want to reassure everybody we're responding to all 911 calls. We have not had any respiratory type calls yet, and our orders are to not expose our people if we can help it and wait for the ambulance. Normally we'll have one person dressed up and make a real quick triage of what's going on. if we need to, we'll all go in and, we have the proper supplies and all that stuff right now, so we're doing pretty good on that. Our training here has been, we went to online training the last 2 weeks, we're gonna do it again this week, so everybody can keep up on their hours. And we're having a minimal crew come down here, maintain their distancing and doing the maintenance and cleanup and stuff here at the station. Let's see, Explorers. The Explorer program, I just got updated today with Steve Silva from SDAO. We're talking about switching the Explorers to our workman's comp insurance and leaving the Boy Scouts behind. It all depends on what the Boy Scout program right now is going through some issues, and it looks like we won't increase costs or anything by doing that. And they're willing to take, anybody over 14 years old can be added to our workman's comp insurance. So we're just gonna work that out and see what the estimate is. We don't have any repair issues on our equipment this time. Let's see, medical supplies and procedures. I talked with Jerry a little bit about this today. It's going crazy how we're having to inventory and order stuff. We're actually getting supplies. It's a lot easier for us to get supplies from our vendors than it is to go through the state. However, one thing we can't get is N95 masks, so the state's been supplying that. And we have a small supply of those down here. It should be enough to last through. Let's see. State health procedures and our inventory stuff every day is changing. It's just gone crazy. So we're trying to keep up with that. Let's see, the COVID-19 directive, I wrote one and implemented here for social distancing. We met with Salem Electric and Vista Gas. Vista Gas installed the gas line this month already. I talked with Mr. Saban yesterday. Our generator's been delayed because of COVID-19. The factory's running slow, but it's still on order. And also the switch for the Grange is the same way. So hopefully we'll see him soon. Let's see. We got a bid, as part of the natural gas project, I got a bid for a heating system. And we'll address that in the budget, during the budget process, see if we want to do that in the capital project next year. It's around $4,500 to switch from our old oil heater to natural gas. I think we'll be able to pull off a safety security grant from SDAO on that, just to improve. We'll get rid of an outdoor fuel tank and a lot of other stuff. I think they'll go for that. Let's see, street light, that was no big deal. Gathering supplies, okay. Part of the Mike Zick check was we're gathering supplies to enclose the pole building out in the parking lot to get our vehicles out of the weather. Let's see, the workers' comp application came in. I'm reviewing that with the SDAO right now. It looks like it's going to be a little bit less again because of our safety record here, and it's some favorable risk stuff this year. FEMA grant, we got the FEMA grant applications in. The SCBA grant was submitted. Our match will be around $6,800 for $146,000 in SCBA's and bottles. So we'll address that in the budget process also. The engine grant request was submitted at $436,000. Our match would be about $20,762. So we'll budget for these matches in the equipment fund. Since this, I did this thing, Safer grant through FEMA has some grants that we don't have to match for some improvements around here, so I'm investigating those right now. Physicals for our firefighters, some utility work and that kind of stuff. It's designed strictly for volunteer fire departments or rural areas. I've never applied for that one before, and we're going to investigate that here in the next couple of weeks. Question County Communications, through the budget process last year, we were supposed to have an $1,800 bill for their dispatch. We never got it, so I didn't want to get surprised, so I'm just waiting to hear what they have to say. But they're pretty busy right now. Let's see, we got our first longevity check from SDAO for $437, so that was nice because of how many years we've been with them. And the best practices program came out, and we're right on it. All we have, as a board, by next November, there's one online class through Safe Personnel to take for harassment, and I'll forward that to you guys. But everything else, our policy, and this year's main subject is harassment. We've already adopted that policy, and we've already done the stuff we need Draft budget calendar, right? You said you're gonna talk about that a little bit later? And budget
Yeah.
committee, okay. Just to let you know, the budget committee's set, we have one new member. I'll publish a calendar here and first notice in late April. I'm moving the notice date, we'll talk about that later, to April 20th. It still has the time, it fits the state requirements, but then maybe we'll have a little bit better idea on what's going on and how we're gonna meet and that kind of thing. We have some options. If we have to do it this way, or the Grange can be set up to maintain social distancing for 12 people. We've been working on that, and so we can address that later on. I think that's about it. But every day there's something new coming on with forms and grants and everything else, so we're just working up through them as it goes along.
Okay, thank you, Steve. And interestingly enough, our old business transitions right into the budget committee process. So that was a great segue.
All right.
Anyway,
We had a draft budget calendar last month, and we identified, we have one new budget committee member that we've identified, so I'm gonna send this calendar out for everybody. The only change that I made was I changed the notice from April 8th to April 20th, so that gives us about 2 more weeks basically to see how the meeting's gonna go, or what we're gonna have to do for a meeting. And then,
Is that Randy?
huh?
Is Randy the new
Yeah,
member?
right, yeah. And then, everything else should be, the original meeting was gonna be Monday, May 4th, and then the second would be May 18th if we need to. I'll send this out to all you guys, and I give it to Jerry and post it on the website, I guess, right? Jerry?
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Steve, I don't know if you saw, I forwarded an email that I got late this afternoon providing some advice from the county on the budgeting process.
Oh, I didn't see that yet, but I'll look for it. Did you send that to my department email?
Yeah.
Because I didn't get the other one from you either, so I'm not sure what happened. Yeah, the state, right after this started, sent us a letter saying that we had to address the normal public meeting process, either by what we're doing right now, or you can't delay it, or you can't forget it, or anything else. You gotta do it, so. Is that what they said?
That was basically, I did not have a lot of time to read the entire thing in depth, but skimming it, it sounds like unfortunately, they don't have the authority. It's only the legislature that has the authority to change timelines.
Right.
And so it sounds like they're accepting that more people are going to have to do remote virtual meetings.
Okay.
And so there were a couple of lengths, guidelines to make sure that we follow when we're doing that.
Okay. So I'll send you guys the draft calendar we went over that last month, just the one date change. And I'm gonna be working on that budget here. We already started working on it, but I'm gonna try to get it out here in the next week or week and a half, so everybody has a copy in their email. And if we're gonna have to go virtual, or we're gonna have to do this online stuff, then everything needs to be on the website and everything. Right, Jerry? Yeah.
I think that's a good idea to make it available, and we also need to have a way to allow for public input during the budget hearing.
Okay.
And that could be live, and I believe from the email that Rob sent out, it also mentioned the possibility of people sending in comments by email.
Okay. Well, okay, so my plan is to get it all out early, so we can mess with that online, email, whatever we want to do. We have 5 seats here at this station that we can maintain social distancing if somebody wanted to, if public came. If it's going to be any more than that, we're going to have to move sites, or else I'm not sure what you guys would like to do about that. The Grange is available.
Can I make a comment there?
Yes.
The Grange, we have measured out social distancing standards for 12 people there, and there is room along the sides for if anybody public wanted to come and comment, they could sit in chairs along the sides 6 feet apart. The issue is that there are not enough tables for more than 12, so But the Grange, but I've already booked the Grange, for the budget meetings. Whether or not they happen at the Grange is okay, but we have booked out that slot for the fire 18th, I believe.
Right. So each member of the budget committee would have a table if
They would have
we
their own
want to do
table.
that, and then the public could sit around the outside if they wanted to, right? So that's an option.
Okay, thank you very much, Ann.
And so you were saying there's enough for 12 people 6 feet apart, and Steve, you were saying that allows for some people to sit elsewhere?
Yes, that would
Right.
cover the budget committee, plus, go ahead, Ann, because you guys measured out the rest of it.
Right, we measured it out and our tables are 8 foot, and so only one person per table, because you have to allow 2 foot per person. And so, the way that the hall is, that allows for 12 tables, which is 12 people.
Well, we
But they're 6 feet from the wall, so people could sit in chairs at 6 foot distances along the outside wall if there were any public that wanted to, attend the budget meetings.
I've got a question.
Okay,
If the tables were 8 foot long, instead of sitting on the side, one person could sit on each end of the table, and that would still give you your 6 foot, well, the 8 foot separation.
We tried that, Bill, and it didn't work out because of the distance between the tables is not enough.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's crazy how far 6 feet really is. And then you have to take into account the space that a person uses as well. Yeah, so we wind up, we can set up 12 tables in the Grange, one person per table, and distance them 6 feet apart, allowing 2 feet per person. And there is room along the outside edges for the public to attend if they wish, and maintain the distance.
We can provide, I know a lot of people are really worried about coming out in public and stuff, and I know like the most recent recommendations was to wear masks in public and stuff. We can provide that kind of PPE for somebody that night, and the budget committee if anybody needs that kind of stuff.
That is true, and the Grange does have a stock of gloves as well as the wipes and the what we need to
Sorry.
comply with the COVID-19 rules.
There are some people, I have a friend that's making cloth masks, so I might be able to get her to volunteer to donate some of those for the public.
If they were to show up, yeah, that is one thing the Grange does not have is masks, but we do have gloves and we do have the sanitizing spray and wipes and such, so.
If we could get a rough idea how many, I'd try to get some masks for everybody. They're just cloth masks, but they work.
Yes, on the outside, probably 6.
Yeah, and again, I have a stock enough that we could provide everybody that night also.
Right.
Available at the door.
Right, and then you can take them, you can take them with you and use them when you go out into the public.
You don't want.
Because they're yours.
Sure, yeah. Anyway, if that's how it winds up, the Grange is the Lookingglass Grange Hall is set up and ready for budgeting if that's what you choose to do.
Well, what does the board think then?
I think
We could use it.
the Grange would be a good idea for that.
Would we be able to project documents in some way at the Grange?
Yeah, we should.
It'd be awful embarrassing if we had 40 people show up and no place to put them.
It would be.
stipulate that there's limited seating, you know, ahead of time somehow.
Would that be limited seating to 10?
It would be if there's, let's see, 4 tables across the site, it would be limited to about 8, public people. And in the years that I've been on the budget board, we've had like 2 people 1 year showed up.
So we have how many people on the budget committee plus the
12.
board?
12 counting the board, 12 counting.
Well, 11, count me and,
Oh, you're involved?
I'm not on the committee, but the actual committee's 10, 5 and 5, 5 public and 5 board members.
Okay.
So that's,
So
so we actually have 1 extra table.
An extra table, okay, gotcha. And as far as being able to project it or get it out like you're doing right now with Zoom or whatever, I don't know, that would be kind of up to Jerry.
But rather than trying to take the time to discuss how we're gonna do that, why don't we just decide if we are going to meet at the Grange, and if we, at the same time, want to have it as a Zoom meeting, so that we can do both. Through the Zoom, we could involve more public people. But then we, as I said, we need to a way to project it.
So Jerry, do you wish to make that motion?
I move to have the budget meetings at the Grange, and to see if we can at the same time have it projected on Zoom for the public.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Bill. It's been properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. Alan?
Approve.
Candace?
Approved.
Jerry?
Approved?
Bill?
Yes.
And I vote in the affirmative. Motion passes. So we will have the budget committee meetings at the Grange, which will provide some space for people to meet. And we will be looking at the possibility of going ahead and including this as a Zoom meeting.
Okay, so the notice for the paper will reflect that, and I'll get a notice out to everybody and the budget committee stating that.
Okay, would ask that Rob set up a Zoom meeting for those dates so that we have a link that can be included in the public notice.
Will do.
Then I'll contact you, Rob, before I make that notice.
Okay. Okay, very good. All right, anything left on the budget committee?
But I have one concern, Rob, is that when we're doing a meeting by Zoom, that means everybody has to have their own either laptop or phone, is that correct?
It would be easiest if everyone had their own. What I'm going to investigate if there are some opportunities where we could have one camera recording the meeting and going that way. So I don't know if I don't know what the technological possibilities are, but there are quite a few options, and so it's a steep learning curve, but I'm climbing it.
Okay, I got you there. Okay, well, if you would contact me, if you need some help, let me know.
Okay, will do.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Any new business?
Well, I'll put it under new business. I've got to go to the bank tomorrow and deposit a couple of checks. Rob, I've got to get together with you, or you have to go to the bank and sign that paperwork, because we're all going to have to re-sign cards for the different accounts and for the checking accounts, so we all can sign checks.
Okay, so my only time constraints for tomorrow is I have a 9 a.m. staff meeting via Zoom, and then I have some medical attention that I need to give a couple of animals at the school. Other than that, I could be pretty free to meet you to go ahead and get that signed.
Okay, well, I've got a physical therapy, first thing in the morning, so I'll give you a call sometime in the afternoon and I'll meet you somewhere and give you the paper and then we'll, as long as you fill it out, you only have to fill out like half of the top out. And then, take it into the bank and then they'll notify me and then I can pick up the cards and, drop them off at the station so everybody can come in and sign them when they're free and we can get it back in the bank so everybody's on the accounts again.
Okay, very good. Any other new business? Okay, seeing none, I'll move into my report. And so over the last couple weeks, due to the governor's announcements, I am becoming quite proficient at virtual or distance learning as we just had our school year shut down. I've been working with Zoom. If you noticed on the reminder, there was the option for call-ins. Unfortunately, I believe that our Zoom representative and I have had some mixed communications because first we had call-in availability if we lived in Australia. And then I noticed later today, the call-in options were for Europe. And so if we were in any of the European nations, we could have the public go ahead and call in. So we're making progress. I do have the call-in option so people can participate by the phone. So in 48 hours, we've gone from Australia to Europe. So I'm hoping by the May 4th, we could actually be to Oregon.
All right.
But we're getting closer anyway.
I figure it's a move in the right direction, and by and large, most of the countries have spoken English, so that that works. And so working on that, trying to make sure that we can meet any and all opportunities so people in our community can equitably participate in the process should they not have a smartphone or have internet connection. So we are still making progress there, and hopefully by our notices for our May 4th meeting, we'll have that straightened out for United States dial.
All right.
Okay. So, other director reports. Alan, do you have anything?
Have nothing to report.
Okay. Candace?
Nope, I do not.
Okay. Jerry?
Nothing else.
Okay. Bill?
Nothing else.
Okay. Any other comments? Seeing none, are there any public comments addressing anything not on our agenda?
I think that you guys are doing a really good job trying to work through this.
Well, thank you. We all appreciate that support. Okay, any other comments? Seeing none, hopefully I got this meeting date correct. So our next meeting will be May 13th, 2020, 7 p.m. with the venue most likely going to be virtual again.
Okay.
Okay, with that, we stand adjourned.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Was that your gavel? Gavel, Rob?
That was my gavel.
Okay.